Hey y'all, it's me again, River Madrid. Here for another blog post. So I got some feedback from my last video, and I wanted to talk about that. I got generally positive feedback from it from people I know, but one person in particular replied to me and told me that before I open my mouth, I should educate myself a little bit more because millions of people were doing something about it just a few days ago, rallying in Denver over Trump and politics and all that stuff. So I wanted to talk about that. That actually is a perfect segue into what I was going to talk about in this vlog anyway. And what I'm here to talk about today is letting go of things that A, you cannot control, and B, don't actually matter at all, and instead focusing on the things that you can control. So the way I see it, politics, the media, the news, they're all just a big cyclone of capital generating. It's like a fashion show. It's like a big fashion show. They're like, hey, look at us, buy our magazine, look at that guy over there, waste your time voting for the puppet on the left or the puppet on the right, because it'll make you feel kind of involved in all of this stuff that you absolutely cannot control. What we do have control over, and that's all I have to say about that. Media is nothing. Politics are nothing. Those people at the top, just like I said in my last video, those people that are on the TV with their faces on the TV aren't actually doing anything. I mean, big businesses, and they are just sucking up the money, and they don't care about us. I mean, a good analogy, I was talking with a friend yesterday, and a good analogy is I work at this resort, Vail Resorts. I work at Keystone Resort specifically, and he was telling me, man, they don't care about their employees. I mean, we came up with this analogy. His name is Tanky. I just want to credit him for giving me these ideas and talking to me. His name is Tanky. That's THANGKY. Tanky. And he said we came up with this analogy together. It's not even an analogy. It's really how it works. There's the Keystone Resort is just a big money-making machine, and it's an algorithm that's designed to suck in the most money that they possibly can. And he said they don't really care about you. There's no moving up in the company. When you move up to the mountains and decide that you're gonna work as hard as you can and move up in the company, that's not actually what's going on, because they've found out that it's cheaper to not give promotions and just let go of the little guy so that they can get new starting wage employees. And what it is, it's a big algorithm, and each employee is actually just a variable in that algorithm. They treat you like a number. And then I was thinking about this yesterday too. I realized, you know what, that's actually an analogy for America as a whole. It's not just the resort that's doing that, it's America. The government in particular, the people at the top that are taxing us and funneling our money into their own, private jets and whatever they want. And like I said in my last video, I don't really think it's like the upper class screwing the lower class or anything like that. I just think that we're so focused on this media storm that we're forgetting to take care of each other. We need to let go of trying to reach the top of the organization or change the top of the organization, because it's never going to happen. What they want to do is they want to keep us focused on that and wasting our time trying to get something that is absolutely unattainable, trying to change the politics that we absolutely cannot touch, so that we don't realize that we can actually just focus on helping each other. If we forget about them, they'll have no power. If we forget about what's going on in the media will have no power. I made some notes when I was talking with Tang yesterday because he was saying some really profound things, and I'm just going to be glancing over at the notes over the rest of this video. He said a couple of really profound things, and the first one, he said that when you take action, when you decide that it's actually time for you to take action, when you feel that burning inside yourself to take action and actually make change in this world, you don't have to be profound. You don't have to do something that is profound. You just have to be nice. You have to be nice to the people around you. You need to take care of the people around you. He's doing it by volunteering to help kids, underprivileged youth. I'm doing it by trying to make this social media application, and I've got the feeling that I need to start talking, so I'm making these videos. If you don't know what to do, if you feel that burning and you want to do something and you don't know what to do, just go volunteer somewhere. Just go volunteer anywhere. Just try to make positive change. Don't focus on the big things. Just bring it back down to earth, yourself, what you can control, your own hands and feet, your own body, and go make good change in the world around you. You do not have control over the big things like the politics, even though they don't really exist in our world. All that exists is you, but you do have control over you and your surroundings. He also used another analogy. The whole politics thing that tries to split us in two is trying to keep us from coming together. And it's written on the dollar bill. United we stand, divided we fall. And that's exactly what they're playing at. They divide us into two groups, Republicans and Democrats, the racist or the not racist, the sexist or the not sexist. They keep us focused on these issues that aren't really even a thing. I think that racism is a product of the mass media. But red or blue, whatever you like, Democrat, Republican, right? If your car breaks down on the side of the road, who's gonna help you? Your fellow human being. At that point, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You're gonna stop. Someone's gonna stop and help you. You could be far right and they could be far left, and they're gonna stop and help you. And that's because there's something broken in the world around you that you can fix, something that you have control over, and that's what we need to unite over. We don't need to be rallying in the streets over something that we can't control. We need to be helping each other with the little things that we absolutely can control. And this is going to turn out to be a long video, but we do float on. You're not gonna die because you go bankrupt. And my point here is that if you put yourself out there, if you really do feel that burning to do something right in your world, and you decide to put yourself out there and go volunteer, even though you have no job. This is a true story. This is what Tang Kai did. He came up here, he ended up losing his job, and he was job hunting. He couldn't find it, but he just wanted to make some positive change. Instead of continuing to job hunt, he went and he started volunteering. And did he die? No. He floated on. He just kept moving on, just like we're all capable of. So if you really want to put yourself out there and do good in this world, pursue your passions, not your job. Move forward. Don't try to climb the ladder. There's nothing at the top. Just go. Don't try to climb this corporate building, this corporate skyscraper, because there's vast fields of, I sound like a hippie now, but there's so much more out there. You don't focus on the things that you can't change. And we do each have a role. That is something else that I talked about with Tang Ki yesterday. Is we are all unique, we're all individual, and we all have our own special talents. We each have a role. We're like fingerprints. Everybody has their own fingerprint, and we each have our own thing that we can do to help each other. There's people whose skills are in the medical field or in environmental sciences, or mine. I mean, I guess I'm trying to help with this blog, and I mean, I can code, so I'm trying to make a difference through coding. You gotta focus on your strengths. You can't focus on what's wrong with the world. You gotta focus on what's right with you, what you can do, and what your strengths are. I mean, even a little bit of progress is good. If you decide to put yourself out there and try to make change, then even just that little bit of progress is good. That little bit of good that you can do for the world. Even if you fail at, everything you try to do, but you do succeed at one thing, one small thing, and you make a positive impact on this world, then you have done well. And you have done the best that you possibly could do, and that's the most beautiful thing that anybody could ever ask of you. And the last small point that I kind of want to make here that I have written down is it's like, so Tang made this analogy yesterday. He said he trains dogs for a living. He takes care of dogs. And he talked about coddling dogs yesterday, and that made me think about something. He talked about how if you coddle your dog, which is whenever your dog gets frightened or scared, you pick it up. If you coddle your dog, then that dog is going to expect you to be there every single time it gets frightened or scared. Now, if you're not there when the dog gets frightened or scared and you've been coddling it, its fight or flight instinct is going to go off. Instead of dealing with the situation, its fight or flight instinct is going to go off. It's going to go kind of nuts, and it might do something bad. And how that relates is that we're way too involved in this matrix that we've built. So we've like I talked about in my last video, we have this network and this web of comforts now, and we aren't going through things like we were during the Vietnam War or World War I, or when we were settling, or I mean any time in history where we've had actual strife. We've got this network of cush, and we settle back into it because we're comfortable, and that network is it's the algorithm I was talking about before. It's the job that you work and the house that you live in, and it's your iPhone, and it's all these little technological features that just make your life super comfortable, that we just can't live without a car, and that matrix, if you will, that we've built ourselves is coddling us. We're coddling ourselves with the matrix. And there's so many people out there that are living paycheck to paycheck, that don't have anything saved up, that are living in the cush of the matrix, that don't realize that one day when you stop being able to maintain this matrix that you live in, the matrix will stop coddling you. When you stop being able to play into the machine and the algorithm, and you are too small of a variable for the algorithm to maintain you, they're going to drop you. This matrix will drop you, and you will no longer be coddled. And then what happens then? Your fight or flight instinct is going to go off. Things are going to go crazy. And it's because we're so involved in the machine instead of being involved in each other. And that is the main point I'm trying to get across in today's video, is that we need to focus on each other. Just look to the person to the left of you. When you're walking down the street, see that person that needs help, and just say something. Start talking to people. Put yourself out there. It's not going to kill you. We're all going to float on. It's good. I mean, I think I've talked about everything I want to talk about. Thanks again for watching. Also, if you agree with the things that I'm talking about, hit that like button, if you will. And I'll keep posting these videos and keep reciprocating the ideas that people are giving me. And I hope that together we can make some positive change. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.